guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Dave here, and today I think I'm going to do a video on racking, specifically racking from the primary to a secondary. I got my my Cantaloupe beer, which made a god-awful mess in my primary, so I'm going to put it into my secondary, let it sit there. Hopefully it'll clear out a little bit more, and a little bit more the junk will clear out, and then in another probably, I don't know, 5 days or so, I'll go ahead and put it into my my bottling bucket, and then we'll probably bottle and keg some. Probably mostly keg some, because bottling sucks. But it's alright. I got here, half of this is my all grain, and then I ran out, the tap just started bubbling away, and there's no more. So half of this is all grain and half of this is the extract brew. So here it goes. Oh, that is super cold. Awesome. Well, anyway. Racking is a term that brewers use for basically siphoning out beer. If you're going to siphon it from your primary fermenter to your secondary, or your secondary to your tertiary, or your bottling bucket, anytime you're transferring liquid from one or another, you're racking the beer, which is siphoning. And what we have here, this is the kind of siphoning hose that I got, the siphon, and basically it's called an auto siphon. So you basically put this into whatever you're going to siphon, the end, and then you pump it a couple of times, and then the fluid comes up and out and into wherever you go. You don't have to do anything. Now, it's a wonderful device. It works really well. The only thing is you got to have whatever you're going to siphon. Whatever you're siphoning it into has got to be down lower than what you're siphoning from. So anyway, so here we go. I already got this sanitized and we're ready to go. All I have to do is hook up the hose, put the hose into the secondary, and then we'll go. Now, when you siphon, especially from a messy beer that you got a lot of junk at the bottom, like this one, you can see all this junk. Most of this is cantaloupe rind, or cantaloupe junk that was left over, yeast, and basically they call that troop. So all that stuff on the bottom is stuff we don't want. So what we're going to do is, when we stick this in here to siphon out, we're going to go from the very top and work our way slowly down as the level drops. And then just before, when we start seeing a little bit of this junk start coming up, then we're going to stop and leave the junk. Okay? So let me hook up the hose. I'm going to hook up the hose, get everything semi-started, and then I'll get back to you. Now, I got the hose hooked up from the top here. I don't even need to put any clamps because it's a tight fitting and doesn't usually leak or anything. And the hose is sanitized all the way down, and the hose goes all the way down to the bottom of the secondary. We don't want to splash anything. We don't want to introduce air into the beer as much as possible. So we want to keep as much air out of it as possible. So I'm going to get this in. Okay. Okay, and that's all it takes. It's already started siphoning. It's going into the secondary. Now all we have to do is stand here and watch the level. Now, sometimes this can take a little while. I mean, it may take 10 minutes or so, but you know, you don't want to stir anything up. You don't want to get anything moving. You just want to get the good stuff off and into the secondary. As the level of the beer drops, you'll have to drop your cane down in there just a little bit. This fruit beer made a god-awful mess of my fermenter. There's just crap everywhere. But it smells good. It smells real good. Now, probably sometime next week I'm going to, or probably the weekend, I'll probably rack this off into a bottling bucket, and from there I'll take the final gravity reading and we'll see what the final gravity is and what the alcohol content is of it. But I'm expecting it should be somewhere in the 5-ish. Now on my last video I did show you my Conical Fermenter. Now that should be different. I won't have to do this anymore. I will just take it straight from the bottom of the fermenter. I don't even need a secondary. I'll just drop the true out of the bottom there, clean it up, use it as a secondary, and then filter it off from there. Now see how I'm slowly dropping this in to match the level there? That's to minimize crap that's coming in. Now you're going to get a little crap at the bottom. You know, that's unavoidable. But that's what a secondary is for. It helps get it off this and helps you clean it up, and then the rest, if there's any crap that comes in there after that, we'll drop back down to the bottom, and you can take this right into your next vessel. Now I'm thinking what I might do is at the very end tilt this a little bit so that hopefully very, very easily, so most of the truth stays up here, but the liquid kind of goes down there, so I can get most of the liquid that I can out of here. Now remember, before you do any of this, everything's got to be sanitized. Sanitization is paramount, because you got beer here and you got stuff there, and you don't want to introduce any little nasties that will give you off flavors in the end result. Now we are getting close to the end of the siphoning. I'm going to try to, oh, son of a biscuit. Well, okay, I just stirred up a whole bunch of crap, so I'm going to get a bunch of crap in here. But it's all right. It's not going to be all that much. It'll definitely be less than what's in there. And gently just tilting it over so I can get as much beer out as I possibly can. Because if you ask me, cloudy beer is just as good as regular beer. The only thing is, this one's supposed to be a little cloudy, because it's a wheat beer. Alright, that's going to be the end of it. Right there. Alright, so get this out of here. Get that in there. And of course I'm going to make a mess. Here. Alright, now I'm going to pick you up and show you the the Primary Fermenter because it's a god-awful mess. Alright, here we go. Look at that. This thing just took off. And of course you see down at the bottom all this gunk. That's trube, that's yeast, that's cantaloupe, that's all the stuff that we don't want. Now if we look, and I wonder if I can get a nice picture of in there. Look at all that. That's a mess. But anyway, now we got all the beer in here, and it's sitting directly on nothing. But whatever got sucked up from here into here that I didn't want will drop out again, and then we can siphon this out into that out into the bottling bucket, which will get even more. Each time you siphon it, there will be less and less and less stuff on there. But as far as racking your beer or transferring your beer, that's pretty much it. The next, the only other thing that you need to really be conscious about is sanitization. Making sure everything is sanitized so you don't get any nasties in there. That's the big concern. If you get a bunch of crap from the bottom in there, don't worry. You can say, it'll, when you siphon it out to the next thing, you'll just, it'll just go off. So anyway, that's basically it for this time. Let me get my beer. Hold on. Here's my beer. This is Dave from Journey to Frankie Valley, East and West. Cheers and 17. Oh, notice I'm sporting my Craig Tube shirt. I got it on Craig, so if you ever see these videos, I'm a supporter. Bye-bye. For the love of beer.